Hello, I'm Michael Brockley. Call me Mike. This summer, Main Street Rag will be publishing my first collection, Iron Pennies Prose Poems. But Iron Pennies Prose Poems is currently available as a pre-order from Main Street Rag's bookstore. The backstory for Word Jumble is that a friend of mine and I went to Olive Garden one evening, and as we were being seated, on our way to being seated, we picked up one of those children's activity booklets and some crayons and went to our seat. My friend scribbled and colored in things on his book, and I left mine in the envelope. And when I got home, I looked through it and went to bed and got up the next morning, and the poem essentially had written itself in my head overnight. Doesn't happen all like that all the time, but it did in this case. So this is called Word Jumble in a Blue Highway Diner. You drive with the sun in your eyes until blindness becomes another way of seeing. A corona of blue highways emerging from behind an eclipsed sun. You stop for any rumor of a restaurant serving pies that taste like the last woman you loved. If the waitress offers a coloring book menu and a set of crayons, you thank her for the gift and order pie. Then weave through the curves and dead ends of the mazes with wild orange strokes. When business slows and the booth's empty, you move so the sunlight sets on your shoulder. Your vision filled with rebus clues of your lover's goodbye. The jukebox plays backroad songs only you can hear. Cracked rearview mirrors, a woman wearing a maroon dress. While the cook and the waitress laze over a game of backgammon, you connect the dots to reveal a cartoon turtle holding a fork and knife. Stay for the evening rush, for the aroma of homemade pie. The waitress pauses to dab sandalwood perfume on her wrist. You used to breathe taboo behind her ears. At your booth, you wear a crayon to its nub, but find new colors at the cash register. Rhubarb and peach. After the blue plate special, you finish another slice of pie and labor over the words on the menu's jumble. S-I-S-K, R-E-S-E-I-D, V-E-L-O. It's called Little Detroit because my hometown is Connersville, Indiana. And Connersville, Indiana was called Little Detroit because in the early part of the 20th century, it was a major manufacturing center for old-time cars like the Cords, the McFarlands, the Duesenbergs, cars like that. After the car industry centralized in Detroit, Connersville still had an industrial base. It had Philco, made car parts for Ford, Stance made gas caps and radiator caps, and we had plants and factories that made porcelain products and even caskets. I grew up in Connersville, and it was a nice town to grow up in, but I wanted to get out, which you'll understand if you read the book. And this is a poem from that book, Little Detroit. The factory by the railroad tracks where your grandfather built McFarland sedans is shuttered, its windows broken, its doors jimmied open by scavengers. At Independence Day parades, undertakers once pulled floats along Grand Avenue in their vintage Auburns and Duesenbergs, while County Fair Queen hopefuls waved and tossed butterscotch candies to the crowd. For the city sesquicentennial, the married men modeled the beards and mustaches of Civil War generals. Your clean-shaven father let mutton chops stubble his jaw, then won a sawbuck for the way he favored General Burnside. Tom T. Hall played for tips in Sue's Diner, the same place you bought sausage and egg sandwiches on Saturday mornings, where you daydreamed over exotic paragraphs in a discarded grit. Hall sang of giving $7.80 to a waitress for her rent, of catching catfish in the Whitewater River. Folks said when the fog rose from the Whitewater, a phantom McFarlane accelerated along the center line of Cry Woman Bridge, that the hit-and-run girl lies buried beneath the cemetery's dollhouse. You shoplifted paperbacks from Chambers' drugstore, comic books in which a cursed cowboy tested his quick draw against Beelzebub. During pickup games at Spartan Field, you tackled with the rage of a teenage boy without the keys to a Rambler or even a rust bucket Corvair. You heard rumors of panthers hunting in the western hills, of creatures that chewed off their feet to escape the traps on the outskirts of town. When you left for good, you hitchhiked north, abandoning the first car you owned, a Mustang that started once. The backstory for the poem I'm going to read is that loneliness probably haunts most of the poems in Iron Pennies. I spent lots of money on counseling, matchmakers, online dating, personal ads, speed dating, Lonely Hearts Club dances. And when I heard that this Hollywood personality was going to step into the singles ring and try to share his expertise, I jumped on it. And so I'm writing about my experience with Wile E. Coyote, singles coach. When Wile E. Coyote, Ph.D., hung out his shingle, I signed on for the Lonely Hearts Deluxe plan. W.E.'s been a Hollywood legend since Fred Flintstone invented Yabba Dabba Doo, and he knows the lure of amour. How Bogey and Bacall clicked, that Gable and Lombard formula, Gaia Bevis and Lynn Slacks. Since then, my barber styles my hair for that Monument Valley look, rugged, and I follow the Wile E. tips. When I entertain, I lean away from my date in my seat, speak in the bass cadence of good-hearted tricksters, drink water while she sips wine. I frequent the meat counter at my local grocery while I practice saying tenderloin with a bedroom accent. Sometimes we double date so W.E. can critique my Zalamerius. W.E. insists I add swagger to my repertoire, claims all ladies love outlaws. So I've ordered a kit called A Dash of Cad from Acme. Dr. Coyote swears if I press my ear against the train tracks, I'll hear the whistle from the locomotive of love. Thank you for listening to my reading of Wile E. Coyote Singles Coach. My book of prose poems, Iron Pennies Prose Poems, is available from Main Street Rag's bookstore and will be available for purchase in late summer. Thank you for listening to me.